on my page 11 a.m. on Fridays. However, today is a special event. Yes, it is a special event. I'm just going to check to make sure everything's streaming on Facebook. Perfect. All right, little glitch sheet now. We've had some glitchiness with Facebook because everyone seems to be on. So if it freezes, just hop out and hop back on. That usually corrects it. If it keeps doing that on you, because many of us are going live today, the replay is always better. All right, so today, as I said, is a special day. I'm so excited and happy to be a part of Touch Mother Earth Day 50th year virtual festival. Yes, if you click on the event, there's actually a link to their full event page. You get to see there's lots of us who are doing presentations, all kinds of different things. I was sharing with my friends and we were looking through the schedules and find there's some cool stuff. There's like yoga for kids. And so I highly recommend get on their event page, check it out. All of the vendors, the links to their presentations like mine today is on their website. So you click on their name, click on their link to get to their presentation. Because we're all sheltering in place, we can't go and meet together, right? So we're all doing it virtually. So my topic today on this special Earth Day presentation at 10 a.m. instead of 11 is I'm going to give you 3 easy strategies to lower your stress. Let's bust the stress. Let's get some stress busters in place so that you can boost your immunity, get your energy back, and stop the stress eating. Yes, it's not the fact that you're eating your fridge. It's not the fact that you feel like you're eating your house that's affecting your energy, that's affecting your sleep, that's affecting your weight. It's the stress that we are under as a result of this pandemic, because we are all in chronic stress mode right now since this all started. So I'm going to give you 3 easy to implement strategies so you can bust that stress, lower that stress, and get your energy back and lower the stress so that you can stop the stress eating. So happy that you're with me today. As you're logging in, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, do let me know where you are tuning in from this morning. Now, if you kind of see me looking down, the platform I'm using, I want to make sure I'm seeing your comments. I'm actually on Facebook on my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking for, any of your comments. Yeah, so I am Pamela Patrick. I am a registered nurse and I'm also a certified health coach. And I coach busy, stressed women on how to lose those stubborn pounds that are weighing them down from having the body and the energy that they want, all without traditional dieting. And what I mean by without traditional dieting is without just eating fewer calories and moving more. So if you're tired of the endless dieting, the yo-yo dieting, you are on the right page, because I give techniques and strategies that aren't diet related. They're food related, but not diet related. One of them being stress. There is a trifecta when it comes to our health and our energy, stress being one of those. Stress is a huge one. So today I'm going to give you those tips. All right, let me get to my slide presentation. All right, I'm going to move some things around. I try to touch on everyone's learning styles, and one of them is some of us are visual learners, like we got to see things as well as hear them. So I'm sharing my slides with you this morning. So 3 strategies to lower stress, boost your immune system, and stop the stress eating. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself some water, whatever you're drinking this morning, grab some paper and a pen, because you're going to really want to take notes. Stay till the end, because strategy number 3, let me tell you, out of all the strategies that I teach, this is the one that everyone absolutely loves, because they see immediate results every time they do this. So curious, how many of you are here today because you feel like the stress of the pandemic is just affecting your health? Let me know. I'm curious. Is that you? Yeah, lots of us, it's affecting our health. And how many of you are here today because you just feel like the stress is affecting your weight, like you're eating everything in sight? How many of you can say that? Yeah, and I'm sure there's at least one of you who can say, that's me. I completely understand. My jeans are getting tight as well. Yes, it's affecting all of us. So here's what you will learn today. I'm going to actually share with you what stress does to our bodies, how it affects our health, our immune system, and our weight loss efforts. I'm going to give you a strategy to start your day off right, to combat stress even before it starts. If you did not do this morning, you can do it right away. And discover how limiting these two things helps to lower that stress hormone, also known as cortisol. And the last strategy is how you can actually de-stress. Let's bust the stress in 2 minutes or less so that you can boost your immunity, resist those sweets that affect our immunity and our weight, and not binge eat. Many of us, I'm speaking to lots of my friends and my clients, and some of them are like, I feel like I'm just eating and eating. So congratulations for being here, whether you're watching live or the replay. Congratulations for being here. You could be doing anything right now other than watching this broadcast, and you're choosing to watch it for yourself. Awesome. Congratulations. So yes, I am Pamela Patrick. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm also a certified health coach. And I have the amazing opportunity and privilege to coach women to get to their optimal weight for their unique body. And along the way, to love themselves and their bodies, and to no longer see their body as the enemy. And I'm just so amazed that I get to do this work. Every morning I wake up, I'm like so amazed that I get to work with such amazing women. I am an author for healthinsiders.com, which is a health and wellness website. No fake news on that one, because every article is verified by a board certified physician. Yes, I have to prove what I'm saying is the truth. And I'm also a featured author on Lose Weight Now in Amazon's #1 international best-selling book, The One Thing Every Mom Needs to Know. However, my life was not like this. Let me tell you, I was one stressed woman working in a very busy ER. I was at my highest weight ever, and I was exhausted. I was getting headaches and migraines, and during the wintertime and even springtime, I would always get a cold, like almost every single month. And normally a cold lasts anywhere from 7 to 10 days. For some people, it's shorter. I was always 10 or 11 days with a cold, and I would get bad colds too. And for me, I felt like I just needed to lose weight. I needed to, I thought I was eating pretty healthy, but I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. I'm feeling sick in my body. I'm tired all the time. I'm at my highest weight ever. And as a registered nurse, I truly felt like a failure, because I thought at this point in my life, I should have it all figured out. I should not be unhealthy. I should not be overweight, and I should not be exhausted. So I just thought I needed to go on a diet. But with each diet that I went on, trying to lose weight, I would see some results, but I inevitably would gain it back within 6 months or less, usually with a couple more pounds added on. Can anyone relate to that one? Yeah. So it wasn't until I had my personal come to Jesus moment. We all have those moments in life, right? Where I'm actually sitting on my green couch after coming home from a lovely birthday dinner. It was my birthday, which happens to be in January. And I had done the whole let's eat my way through Christmas and New Year's and my whole birthday week. Not just a day, but a whole week. And I'm not having just one slice of birthday cake on my lap, but I have the whole plate of my birthday cake on my lap, eating and eating and eating. And I was watching a movie, and it was a romantic comedy, but the protagonist was overweight, and where she gets to the point where New Year's resolutions, right? We all make those. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to stop dating the bad boys. And music's playing in the background. I'm like, you go, girl. I'm thinking to myself, well, what about me? I'm in my early 30s. Is this going to be my life? See, I ended up becoming a binge eater as a result of the stress, but I never made that connection until when I had that come to Jesus moment, and I'm looking for ways to lose weight, and I connected with a coach. And she said, everything, when we got in session, everything is attributed to your stress. It's causing you to eat. It's affecting your sleep, because I was having bouts of insomnia. It's affecting your energy. And so with working with her and her learning these strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of these, I was able to lose weight. I felt so much better. My migraines weren't cycling nearly as much. I was sleeping And I felt so much better in my skin. And although losing the weight was lovely, let me tell you, for me, it was the fact that I wasn't getting the colds, that I wasn't getting the migraines. And even my friends noticed, like, you're not getting nearly as many migraines, because they could always tell when I had one. So I'm so excited to share with you these 3 strategies so that you too can have your you go girl or you go guy moment and lower that stress and get healthier and losing weight. So because the pandemic, the Centers for Disease Control, this was like 3 weeks ago, boom, on their website, here's what's going on with stress with the pandemic, saying that fear and worry about your own health and the health of your loved ones. I think many of us can relate to this one. My sister-in-law and my dad are in the high risk category, so they are both at home and not going out. Causes changes in our sleep or our eating patterns, difficulty sleeping or concentrating, and also worsening of chronic health problems. Myself included, even my changes in sleep with this pandemic. And, you hear the fear and the worry, not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones. But here's what happens. When we're stressed, our immune system can't fight off the colds, the illnesses. It depletes our immune system, so we are more susceptible to infections. You're not hearing a lot about this because of the pandemic and how, very serious it is, but there is a high incidence of flu. Let me tell you, I know at least 5 people who've been hit with the flu within the past 3 weeks that have been diagnosed with it. So flu, we're seeing high rates of this as well. We're all under stress. Our immune systems are really compromised. And of course, the hormone, it's called a corticosteroid. Cortisol is a corticosteroid hormone, can suppress the effectiveness of our immune system. Now, that's a direct effect, but it also can have an indirect effect by what we're doing and how we're trying to manage and cope with our stress, whether it be drinking. Hey, I gotta say, I'm drinking a little bit more wine nowadays, right? I think a lot of my family members can relate to that. Smoking or eating foods that compromise the immune system, sugar, or foods, high carbohydrate foods that turn immediately to sugar. It actually affects our immune system. It compromises it for a few hours after we consume that sugar. I know, sugar. And let me tell you, I got to say, I've been doing that. I had 2 things of Oreos that I ate within 48 hours. And chronic stress, which we're under right now with the pandemic, exposes our body to a steady stream of these stress hormones. So instead of having those bouts of, oh my gosh, I'm late for work, I can't find my keys, and the pet just puked all over the floor, and that boom stress, now we're under our chronic stress. So now our cortisol levels are high, and their stress hormones have been staying high at a steady rate for most of us, which affects our immune system. So once again, we're more vulnerable to illnesses from colds and other serious diseases. So there is a cost. So this little diagram actually shares here's stress, what it does. It increases our heart rate and our blood pressure. We've got those stress hormones that come into play that affect our immune system. And it also causes disturbances in our digestive system, which I'm going to hit in a moment. But basically, even if we are eating healthy foods and trying to get those good vitamins and minerals to help our immune system, when we're eating, when we're stressed, under chronic stress, we can't digest the food and we don't absorb those nice nutrients. And that's why we are at an increase of disease and weight gain. So once again, it can cause us to have some unhealthy behaviors, insomnia, eating unhealthy foods. Now, here's the cortisol. Affects us with our weight gain, especially in the belly. So women, if you're having struggle with losing the weight in the belly, if you're like, oh my goodness, my belly weight, I can't fit in my jeans now. And here's what I was talking about just now. Stress decreases nutrient absorption, no matter how healthy we eat. So that's why I always recommend that you supplement. Get yourself a good probiotic, get yourself a good multivitamin, because we're not properly absorbing it from our foods that we're eating right now with us being under this chronic stress. And we're also excreting. We're losing calcium, we're losing magnesium, we're losing potassium, zinc, chromium, selenium, microminerals. And magnesium is one that really helps relax us, helps lower our stress as well. Magnesium is really good for that. And it also affects our guts. You might have heard recently about gut health. It seems to be in the past couple years, all of a sudden you're hearing about gut health and leaky gut syndrome. Why? It's because 70 to 80% of our immune response is made in our guts. Some of it's made in our bone marrow, but 70 to 80% of it is made in our guts, all these T cells and all these different cells that help us to fight off infections. So when we're under stress, it actually affects it, it damages it. And it can lead to immune problems. We're not properly absorbing, once again, and digestive distress, where we're, having diarrhea, or we're constipated, or we're gassy, or we're bloated. So first off, we're going to start your day off right. We're going to share with you 2 strategies of less is more with this one. And then the last one is one that every single person that teaches to finds immediate results, and they tell everyone about it because it works so well. So start your day off right. If you haven't done this yet, do it. Drink water. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. So what I always recommend is put like 20 ounces. I got a 20-ounce cup here. Put 20 ounces of water out on your bedside or bathroom sink, so that when you first wake up in the morning, before you have your cup of coffee, before you have your breakfast, before you brush your teeth, drink the whole 20 ounces down, because water is hydrogen and oxygen. So you're getting those oxygen into your muscles, toss back the whole glass, and it gives you an immediate boost of energy. Plus, it helps with many of us have what's called that mid-morning slump between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning. If you are homeschooling your children or your grandchildren right now, you probably can relate to this. So drinking water first thing in the morning helps you to combat that. Plus, it cuts down on us craving the sugary and the high carbohydrate foods that compromise our immune system. If you find yourself craving sweets and you're like, man, I just ate, why am I craving? Drink some water, because dehydration mimics low blood sugar. So instead of, it makes you crave sugar, because you're low on energy, I'm a little dehydrated, and your body goes, oh, eat some sugar, when it's just the fact that you just need a glass of water. So, and we should be drinking at least half of our body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water a day minimum, but because we're under stress, double that. And here is a liter. A liter is 33 ounces. So that kind of gives you an idea. If you need to drink 75 ounces of water, you need to drink probably about 1.5 liters of that. Another way to start your morning off right, I don't have a slide for this, is get yourself a good multivitamin and a good probiotic. Your probiotic is going to help you with your gut health, so that we have that good flora in our gut to help create those nice immune response cells that is created in our gut. And a good multivitamin that has, of course, your vitamin C, your vitamin D3, and vitamin K. Those 3 things are really going to help boost your immune system, especially when we're under stress, where we're not properly absorbing it and we're actually peeing out a lot of our nutrients from our healthy meals that we're eating. So a good probiotic and a good multivitamin. I'm always one about being very practical, okay? Many of you can't go out and buy it, and you have to get a loved one to do it. Search your house, search your cabinets, because you might just have a multivitamin that you've forgotten about. Check your expiration dates, and what's in the expiration date. Just start with what you have. And then to get to the next level, then you get to a higher quality probiotic and a higher quality multivitamin. But check in your cabinets, because chances are you might have at least one of these in your cabinets. And then when you need to go out and get one, start with where you're. I'm always one about being very practical. So this is a graduate of my Real Deal Health and Weight Loss 3-month program, Nancy. When I told her about drinking water for her energy, because she's like, I have no energy and I'm stressed, she looked at me like, really? Like, just drinking 20 ounces of water in the morning is going to help with my energy? I'm like, hey, try it for a couple of days. If you don't see results, let me know. 3 days later, she comes to me. She goes, holy crap, that stuff works. And she's a coffee drinker too. She goes, before I drink my coffee, I drink my 20 ounces of water. And boy, my energy level is up and I'm not craving sweets mid-morning. Yeah, she was one, she gave me the eyebrow, like, really? That's going to work? 3 days later, results. Strategy number 2, less is more. All right, so less negativity and more gratitude. This is so important because it helps reduce those negative emotions. And it's actually a natural stress detox for the mind and the body. Helps us to have more vitality. It gives us it's an easy energy booster, more energy and enthusiasm to work harder. And there's actually been a lot of research when it comes to those who have gratitude and those who have more of a negative mindset. We have so many thoughts a minute and during a day, and 85% of them are negative and repetitive as well. Yeah. So here's what you can do. I've actually, like I said, it's been researched this past few decades where they see there's just such an overwhelming connection between gratitude and good health. And what they find is that negativity actually affects our brain to such an extent that it affects our immune system. It's quite interesting when you look at the science behind this. So gratitude helps with good health. So I'm going to give you a strategy for this. And it significantly reduces the level of cortisol, which is that stress hormone, right? Cortisol is good because it does put us in a mode of fighting off the stress or running away from it. But when it keeps hanging around with chronic stress, which we are under right now, that's when it affects our immunity, and that's when it affects our weight as well. So gratitude significantly lowers that cortisol. It's just amazing. Gratitude can do. So one thing you can do is you can keep a gratitude journal. Now, if you're tech savvy, they actually have some apps that you can put on your phone for this. Or once again, I'm always about being very practical. Look around your house because chances are you might have some little notebooks. This was a giveaway from a year ago at a vendor event from State Farm, little notebook. Or sometimes we have those little ones that we wanted to keep grocery lists, and then we use one page or two and don't use the rest. So just look around in your home to see if you have like a little notebook, or if you journal, you can put it right in your journal. And every day, either in the morning or at night, write down 5 things for which you are grateful for. Now, if you're one that you struggle with spinning thoughts, like your mind's just running with a lot of anxiety, before you do your gratitude, just do what I call a brain dump in your journal or on a piece of paper. Basically, it's what's called a stream of consciousness. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no chronological order. Just whatever is in your head, write it down. And then once you feel like, hey, I've gotten everything out of my brain, then write down 5 things for which you're grateful for. If we merely do a brain dump and we look at that, and it might be a lot of negativity that we're writing down, a lot of worries, a lot of fears, that's, especially if you do this right before you go to bed, that's the last thing that your brain has had, even though you've done a dump on it. So it's still going to affect you and prevent you from getting that good sleep. So always, if you're going to do a brain dump and write down worries and fears or negativity, you always want to end on a positive. So end with gratitude. And I challenge you, instead of doing 5 things today, write down 100 things for which you're grateful for. Yeah, can be a little challenging, but there are 100 things for which we're grateful for. So write down at least 5 every day, either in the morning. I always recommend at night, so you end on a good positive note as well. Or you can do both, 5 in the morning and 5 at night. So less negativity, more gratitude. And also caffeinate responsibly. Caffeine in and of itself actually increases our cortisol levels, but it's not to a significant degree to really affects us all that much. However, if we drink or consume or eat too much caffeine, because caffeine is in anything that's chocolate, it's in our chocolates, it's in anything flavored with chocolate, so our chocolate puddings, our chocolate ice creams, and of course anything that's coffee flavored, like our coffee ice cream. And it's also in some over-the-counter pain relief medications, Excedrin migraine in particular, and its generic form does have caffeine in it. So even if you're not a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, just kind of think of what things that you potentially could be consuming that does have caffeine in it. Because if we drink too much or consume too much caffeine, it actually also mimics a blood sugar crash, so then you crave sugar. And it's interesting because the University of Oklahoma actually did a study of this on the effects of caffeine and mild stress and caffeine and moderate stress. What they found is that And by the way, a cup of coffee for them was just 6 ounces. For us, the typical cup of coffee is usually about 8 ounces or more, right? Okay. I got to admit, I got a 20 ouncer here, but it's not completely full, right? Because I actually add iced coffee. I actually add a lot of ice to my iced coffee. So they found that drinking just 2.5 to 3 cups of coffee, which many of us do, we drink like a medium or a large. If you go to your local coffee shop or if you're at home with your coffee tumbler, it increases cortisol by 25%. And it actually keeps it up for 3 hours. So if you ever felt like, man, I'm just craving, and no matter what you do, you feel like you've been craving for a couple hours or more, check to find out how much caffeine that you've been consuming. Then they also found that drinking 6 cups of coffee while under even mild stress increases cortisol by 30%, and it stayed high all day long. What? I know, it's amazing. So I'm not saying ditch the caffeine. I'm just saying be mindful, especially right now since we're all under chronic stress, the amount of caffeine that you are consuming. It's not just in our coffee, it's in our over-the-counter pain medications. Check your labels. It will say caffeine in it if it has it in there, as well as anything chocolate flavored or coffee. I was going to say caffeine flavored and coffee flavored as well. So you want to consume less caffeine to keep the cortisol levels down, prevent those cravings for sugary items that compromise our immune system, and also to prevent the binge eating. So less is more. So less caffeine and drink more water. So you can also replace 1 cup of coffee for a glass of water as well. Every time you research what's new when it comes to stress or healthy eating, they always put in the water. Every single thing. So here's another graduate of my Real Deal Health and Weight Loss 3-month program, Susie. When she came to me, she was looking to lose weight. And when we did our initial consultation, she was stressed, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're really stressed. She was like, can I say 11? Because like I'm really stressed at work. And she came to me from a very popular weight loss program. She saw some results, but hit that, that weight loss plateau. And she said, I don't want to deal with what to eat, what not to eat, because I'm burned out on the list of what I can't eat, which is usually 10 times longer, and the little list of things that I can eat. I'm like, totally cool, because guess what? You've got the most important thing, the hidden obstacles to losing weight, which is stress. So with teaching her these strategies that I'm teaching you this morning, as well as other strategies that they learn in my program, she was able to say no to the Snickers bar because that was her comfort food. That was her stress relief. And she easily lost it was like 8 pounds in 7 weeks for her. And she was shocked at that. She's like, man, I didn't. She's like, I saw the scale. I'm like, whoa, I lost weight without changing to a big extent what she was eating. It was simply managing her stress. So stress plays a huge role in weight and our health. So a question, have you gotten value so far? Yeah, have you gotten value so far? And I got to tell you, I always encourage the women that I work with gratitude. It's just interesting how it really does affect our mind. And our mind, there's a mind-body connection, affects our body and our immune system. So have you gotten value so far? I'm going to get some water here. All right, so next, I'm going to share with you a little stress checklist on the next slide. So either take a screenshot of it or take a picture of it, because I highly encourage you to go through this checklist to find out how your stress is right now. And I'm going to challenge you to implement these strategies that I'm sharing with you today for the next 5 to 7 days. And then I want you to do the checklist after 5 to 7 days of implementing these strategies. I recently did a Stress Less, Lose More 5-day challenge in my Facebook group, Healthy Weight Loss for the Busy Woman. And I had the participants do this checklist before. And then after they've implemented the strategies that I taught them, some of them are these ones right here as well. And they saw results. They're like, oh my goodness, my stress is lower. I'm like, awesome. So these strategies do work. There is a lot on this list. To the left are the physical symptoms. To the right are what's called the psychological, or also known as emotional symptoms when it comes to stress. What you're going to do is you're going to put a hashtag or a check mark by any of these that you've experienced to any significant degree in the past 30 days. And then you're going to total how many of those that you've checked off. And let me tell you, in my Stress Less Challenge, all of us were at moderate or higher when it came to our stress. So migraines, headaches, migraine or tension, headaches. I think it was last week when I was connecting with my friends and colleagues on social media, almost every single person said they either had a headache or migraine the day before or that day. I'm like, yeah, it's been at least 3 to 4 weeks. So it's most likely related to the stress. And many of them were like, man, I've never not had a migraine. I rarely get one. And all of a sudden, yeah, it can cycle the migraines and the headaches. Muscle aches, tension, especially in the neck and the shoulders, because we kind of carry, especially as women, we carry that stress on our shoulders. It's like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, especially if you're taking care of a loved one who's high risk and you've got that responsibility. Neck as well. So there's a lot of symptoms. Insomnia, which many of us are experiencing right now, constipation, nausea, colds, palpitations, where you have the rapid heartbeats. I gotta say, this past September, when we had that hurricane that was predicted to make that, huge devastating landfall, I started with palpitations. And I am in my 40s. So I'm like, okay, it's just, stress related. And it was. So I had to start implementing these strategies as well. So yeah, it can affect our health. And then also psychological and emotional, where we have that anxiety, depression, that compulsive behavior, some forgetfulness, or what I call like mental fog, mood swings where we're like happy one moment and then like the next day, because it's like that depression kind of hits again. Loneliness. Oh my goodness. Can any of you relate to the loneliness? Even though we are in a virtual world where we can FaceTime, where we can video chat, but yet if you're one that your love language is physical expression with hugs, you're probably feeling it right now, right? I'm empathetic, so I can completely relate. I'm like, oh, I need some good vibes here. Yeah, restlessness, and of course, the weight change and overeating as well. So what you're going to do is put a hashtag or check off any of these symptoms that you've experienced to any significant degree in the past 30 days. Here are the results. I'm not even going to go to low because I don't even think any of us are there right now. So if you've checked off 8 to 14 of those symptoms, you're moderately stressed. 15 to 21, you're high, and 22 or more, you're very high. However, there's hope, okay? We're not going to leave you there because, as I said, those who were in my challenge, when they implemented these strategies for 5 days at the end and they took this checklist again, their score was lower. So these work. Now, my all-time favorite and the favorite of everyone I work with is this strategy of breath work. And if you're familiar with breath work, you know that it really, really works. Because when we're stressed, of course, our cortisol levels rise. It affects our sleep, what affects our cortisol and 2 other hormones, the hunger hormones. So if you're not sleeping well, those hunger hormones are higher, making you crave the sugary, immune compromising foods, causes us to gain weight in the belly. Because here's why. Stress actually turns off digestion. So when we're eating, our blood goes to our stomach and our intestines to digest the food that we eat. However, if we eat when we're under stress, even low chronic stress, our digestion cannot be turned on because your body is preparing you. It diverts the blood to our arms and our legs. So we can either fight the stress or we can run away from it. Now, our body cannot differentiate the stress between we're running away from a lion or we're under chronic stress from a pandemic. It just knows we're stressed. And it's really trying to help us to fight it. So it turns off digestion. So then we can't properly digest the foods. We can't get those nutrients from the good, healthy foods we're eating. So we actually do need to eat while relaxed. So this technique is actually going to turn off stress and turn on digestion. Because no matter how healthy we're eating, and I do work with women who, when they come to me, they're like, I feel like I'm eating pretty healthily, and we troubleshoot that, and yes, they are. And then I ask, how's your stress level? And they're like, boop, 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 it's high. I'm like, it's the stress that's calling it that. I'm like, I can relate because that was me as well. So we really do need to be relaxed when we eat. So here's how we're going to turn off the stress. It's called deep breathing or diaphragmatic breathing, meaning when we take a deep breath, we actually are taking the breath all the way into our belly button so that our belly is actually going to expand. Now, if you're anything like me, who back in the day was constantly squeezing the belly in, that jiggle in the middle, and when it came to deep breathing, I didn't want my belly to get any bigger, which is why I was such a shallow breather. And I'm sure there's at least one of you who can relate to this. So they actually did a study on this, and they measured cortisol levels of the stress participants before they did this breath work and after they did the breath work. And what they found is deep breathing significantly lowers cortisol levels. And it's interesting because even in the midst of stress, when we do this breath work, our body goes, I thought I was stressed, but I'm breathing like a relaxed person. Okay, I'm relaxed. Let me turn off the stress and turn on digestion. It's really, the mind is so powerful. So the technique that I use, and there's different techniques, but I use what's called the 5-5-7 breath. You do this before every meal to turn on digestion so you can get those nutrients and absorb them into your system. And also whenever you feel stressed or anxious, because it actually tricks, like I said, the mind. So we're going to turn off the stress and we're going to turn on digestion. Now, if you're a mama who you're like, man, I'm homeschooling, I really don't have time. You know how you have a little bit of me time in the bathroom? Just do a couple of cycles of this. I'm going to share with you how to do this. So the first 5 is we're actually inhaling for a count of 5. The second 5 is we're holding that breath for 5. And then the 7 is we're actually exhaling for a count of 7. So the exhale is actually longer because we want to get rid of that carbon dioxide, that CO2, because we want to hold in to the oxygen and get rid of that carbon dioxide. Get rid of that bad air. And once again, when you inhale, you want to visualize that breath going all the way to your belly button. Most of us stop here at the chest because we're shallow breathers. Visualize it going all the way to the belly button so you can get that good oxygen, that good breath. So here is what it would look like, and I'm just going to count it out for you. So you would inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is one cycle or one time or one count. So I want you to do this with me, okay? You're going to see a difference. So sit down wherever you're at. Make sure your feet are hitting the floor or the ground if you're outside. I actually have a little step stool because I'm on the shorter scheme of things and my feet don't touch the floor. So I have my feet on a step stool and just kind of sit comfortably. So you can keep your eyes open or you can close them, whatever's comfortable for you. You can even do this if you can't sit down right now, if you're standing. But the best results are when you're actually sitting down. Moms, your me time in the bathroom if that's all you got. And I'm going to count this out with you. Okay, once again, inhale for 5, hold for 5, and exhale for 7. All right, ready? Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let it out, relax. Now that was 5 cycles or 5 times. When you do this for a total of 10, that's 2 minutes. So check in with yourself before you do this, and you might just need to do it a couple of times. After you do it, check in again. How's your stress? How you're feeling? By that, I'm just curious. If you did that, how are you feeling in your body? How's your neck? How's your shoulders? And when I do this in my live workshops with a participant, they always comment that their shoulders are lower. They don't feel the tension as much in their neck and in their shoulders, and they feel looser. And almost all of the participants say, I feel like I could take a nap because it relaxes us so much when we do this breath work. And it tricks the mind. The mind's like, oh my goodness, I thought I was stressed, but I'm actually pretty relaxed. I could almost take a nap. Okay, let me turn off stress and turn back on digestion. Yeah, and we actually just did that 5 times if you did that. So that was 1 minute. I'm curious, how do you feel? Like I said, do this 10 times to de-stress in 2 minutes. So this, I said, gives your body a chance to relax before your meal. Turn that digestion back on. And you can also do this as many times throughout the day that you need to lower your stress. You might not need to do it 10 times every time. You might just do it 5. You might just do it 3. But anytime you feel anxiety, you feel that stress creeping up, do this breath work. I'm telling you, everyone sees immediate results, and they're always telling their friends about how to do it. Turn digestion back on, absorb those nutrients. We won't be gaining the weight. We won't be gaining the quarantine 15. We'll start to lose that quarantine 15, and you can boost your immune system by lowering stress and getting those good vitamins, minerals from your food that you eat. So this is another graduate in my program, April, of my Real Deal Health and Wellness 3-month program. Now, when she came to me, she didn't need to lose weight. She came to me with a lot of health issues that she was already working with her specialist and her primary doctor with. So when she came to me, she said, you know what, I'm just having issues with consistency. I'm not really following my doctor's protocol, and it's really kind of stressing me out. See, because the type of health issues that April had, it was causing her to have difficulty conceiving. And the big vision for her was she wanted to have a baby. And so when she came to me, she's like, I don't need to lose weight. I just need help me to follow my physician's protocol. So I did. One of hers was, she's like, time management. I don't feel like I can fit in the time that I need to. I want to, really cook the healthy meals. So we worked with her on her time management. We found the time that she thought she didn't have, but she actually did. And I held her accountable for that. She just delivered a beautiful baby boy 3 months ago. I'm getting ready to cry because that was just like, out of everything. And when she was sharing pictures of her baby boy, I was like, oh, so precious. Yeah. So she was one. And that's what I do. I also work in tandem with your physicians to help you to follow your physician's protocol as well. Oh, huge success story. I get chills just thinking about that. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm curious, what are you taking away, or what are you committed to implementing? Let me tell you, everyone always says the breath work, like you, I'm going to do the breath work. But then I'm just curious, because this was so me. How many of you're like, have ever said to a loved one or a friend, or said to yourself, I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. And that was April too. She's like, I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. And I really, really, really want to start a family. Yeah, that was me too. Like, we know what to do, but we just don't implement. Do you know that people who have a coach are 90% more successful than those people who don't? Like, dude, almost 100% success rate, which is quite interesting. Why? It's because it's always consistency. So what can you do to get results, to make sure that you are implementing these strategies? I can totally relate. You go to a conference, you go to a workshop, like, this is awesome information, I'm going to start using it. And then boom, life hits and life gets real. And you're like, holy crap. And you just kind of forget about it because you've got to survive, right? But you can truly thrive when you have that consistency and you implement. So because you're watching this special live broadcast, I'm offering a free lower stress breakthrough session with me. I usually charge $75 for this, but when you hop in, I've actually created more space on my calendar. If you hop in before May 1st, it is free for you. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a series of questions to find out what's been stopping you and keeping you from managing your stress levels, right? And from losing the weight or getting healthy. And also help you to develop a vision of what lowering stress, getting healthy, or losing weight successfully looks like for you and how it will impact your life. We're going to find out how to fit it into your life instead of you trying to force your life to fit into a program, right? A lot of times when it comes to a health program or weight loss program, we feel like we got to fit our busy lives into that program, and it's just not feasible, nor is it sustainable, which is why we struggle with the consistency, because it's hard to do. And help you discover which foods and lifestyle habits are bringing your body down and what to do about. We are all unique individuals, which is why not every weight loss program or every diet is going to work for you, or what meal plan works for you. You might be hearing about keto. It's all the rage right now, right? And some people are really successful on it, and then some people try it and they're like, it doesn't work. It's because it's not right for your unique body. So we're going to find out what foods, what lifestyle habits are going to jive with your unique body to get you to lowering that stress. Plus, you will get an individualized stress buster blueprint based on your life recipe, right? We all might have different stressors in our lives, or affects us different ways, right? That's why yours is going to be individualized based on our conversation together. I'm going to ask you just a series of questions to find out what life has been like for you. And I'm offering this up for those who are really hungry for this type of support. If you're like, yo, Pamela, I could have used this like last week, let's make sure we get you onto my schedule. And I'm actually going to post the link in the comments down below right now. Once again, it is free until May 1st. So let's make sure we get you onto my calendar. And it's also a way to see if we are a good fit to continue to work together. And if not, totally cool. You will still have your individualized stress buster blueprint. Because what I find is, especially with us women, we have big lives, we have dreams, we love our families, we love our jobs, but we're just struggling to fit it all together, especially right now with the pandemic. If you find yourself working from home, or your routine is different, now you're homeschooling the kiddos, or if you have custody of your grandkids, you're homeschooling them, and never in your life did you think you would be having to do that, right? But you really do want to do your best. You want to figure out how to fit it all together. But sometimes it's difficult to figure out how to fit the health, the weight loss, the family, the relationships, the quarantine all together, right? And we really do want to do that. So that's why I freed up some more time in my calendar so that I can help you find the time, help you to fit it all together, and also to get you your individualized stress buster blueprint. I've put the link in the comments below for you to sign up for your free session. Like I said, if you feel like you really are hungry for this type of support, let's make sure we get you onto my calendar, because we have got to get to the front side of this, the front side of the chronic stress, the front side of regaining the weight, so that you can be the healthy, energetic, badass mama or badass papa that you were destined to be. And if you don't have kids, so that you can continue to be the badass babe that you were destined to be as well. Trust me, I can completely relate. And as you saw, the members of the graduates of my program have been there as well. Stress is hindering our weight, and it's hindering our health, and we've got to get to the front side of this. So I want you to take me up on this completely free offer, Lower Your Stress Breakthrough Session, PamelaPatrick.net/stress, free for you until May 1st as a participant of the Earth Day special live event. Now, if you have any questions about what I've discussed in the live, feel free to comment down below. If you have any questions about that individualized breakthrough session, feel free to comment down below. I do respond to all of the comments. It is me personally. It's not a virtual assistant. It's not a bot. And I do love to converse with you all. And I am 100% committed to helping you get those results, whether it's OMG, I can't fit into my bathing suit and summer's coming and beaches are starting to open like next month. or whether it's, I don't have the energy to get out of bed, or maybe it's those spinning thoughts that's been going on of what is normal going to be like when we're quote unquote back to normal. Like it's going to be a completely new normal, right? For many of us. So I'm 100% to helping you and committed to helping you get the results that you want. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do so appreciate it. I know you could be anywhere that you wanted, anywhere else rather than watching this today, and you decided to put your health, and your weight as a priority today. Once again, the link is scrolling down below. It's also on the comments as well. Oh, Jamie, you're so welcome. It's truly, truly my pleasure. My pleasure. All right, to your health, and I'll catch you on the next broadcast.